Ma'am, since elections, there are so many issues with the neighbors.
Mhm.
Recently, there is a controversy about Nepal releasing the new note showing Kalapani as Nepal's territory. And why now, ma'am?
Why now? There are two reasons. First of all, China does not want a stable government in India. So, because elections are going on, China is also using all its muscles to create or to expose the weakness of India's foreign policy. They are trying to counter India on all front.
Hmm.
Another thing is that recently Nepal's prime minister visited and he tried to mend relations with India.
Hmm.
And then our foreign minister also visited Nepal and to attend the seventh meeting of India Nepal Joint Commission, and some fruitful outcomes were there. So, this goes against the interest of China
Yes.
and those factions of Nepali politics who are anti India. So, it is a complex of Nepal's domestic politics, India's domestic politics, China's geopolitics, and India's geopolitics.
Oh. Ma'am, what is Kalapani dispute, ma'am?
Kalapani is a small territory. Where is that territory? When someone from India goes to Mansarovar. So, on that route lies Kalapani.
Okay.
Now, it has two significance for us. First is security, because there lies Tibet. When I say Tibet, means China.
Yes.
Fine. So it is very important that we should be present in the region. And China has made proper infrastructure in its part of Tibet. And we are at Kalapani. Right now, it is manned by India's ITBP. So it has two purposes: providing security to our pilgrims. Second, trade routes are also there. And the third is we have to keep check. Now, Kalapani is being claimed by Nepal.
Okay.
Why they claim? You have to go back to 1816 Treaty of Sagoli.
Okay.
Treaty of Sagoli was between the British India and the then government of Nepal, because there were Anglo-Nepalese wars and Britishers have defeated Nepalese. The reason is Britishers wanted more better access for Tibet. Now in Treaty of Sogoli, River Kali was made the boundary in the western sector. So the area east of River Kali is Nepal's territory. Area west of River Kali is India's territory. And it is not clear where Kalapani is located. Now, 1816 map only says Kali will make the boundary, but it does not tell from where river Kali starts.
Oh.
Now, there are conflicting interpretations. There are two passes. One is Limpia Dhura Pass, another is Lipu Lake Pass.
Yes.
So, one tributary comes from Limpia Dura. It is called Kunti Yangti. Another tributary comes, we can call it Lipu Gad or Kali. And they meet at one point. This point is known as, or this point I can say a location known as Gunji.
Okay.
And from Gunji starts the river. So India says Mahakali starts from Gunji.
Oh.
And from here you have to see what lies in the east. But Nepal says Mahakali starts from Limpia Dura. And that is why there is a conflicting interpretation. In fact, India claims that Kalapani is in Pithoragarh district and we have been administering it and we have land records. Nepal says it is a part of its Dharchula district. Now, if we see the maps and the records, we do have records where it was coming under the land revenue system of India. If we talk about Nepal, their reason is that Britishers, they very subtle, in a very subtle manner, they changed the terminology, and which was earlier Mahakali, they started calling it Yukti because they wanted better access to Tibet. Now, actually, there is no dispute, and out of nothing, Nepal is making the dispute because China does not want Indian presence here. So this is a dispute, and this can easily be solved. And the ball is in the court of Nepal. They have to understand that they should not be making those type of demands which are threatening to India's security. Yes. And which we cannot afford to compromise.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope I made it clear.
Yes, thanks a lot, ma'am. Ma'am, one question. Who is behind the dispute and what is the solution?
See, this dispute, India has been holding Kalapani region since 1962 and before that. There was no dispute. Dispute started in 1978. Now, sorry, 1998-97. Why? Because you have to see the domestic politics in Nepal. During this time, there was Jan Andolan in Nepal, and in 1998, Maoist became prominent in Nepal. Now, who are Maoists? Who was supporting them? China. So, India-Nepal relations need to be understood in backdrop of China. And this is true in context of all neighbors of India. So, it's a China that is the elephant in the room.
Ma'am, how should India respond to Nepal's action?
Nepal's action of showing Kalapani, I think we have to give them a very clear message. Clear in the sense, very professional approach. We should restrain from making any statements which may appear provocative, which may allow Nepal to make propaganda out of it. And we need to communicate the red lines, and we have to deal it at the level of foreign secretaries, utilize the institutional mechanism, and explain from the position of strength and not arrogance. Fine. Because arrogance has not helped India in the past in the form of whether we have gone for formal blockade in 89 or informal blockade in 2015. So we should not allow anything from our side which can give them more food to manipulate. Fine. Still, one has to take the stand, and we have to officially communicate it that this is what India does not expect. And very recently, we have promised that India will be taking 10,000 megawatt electricity from Nepal. And Nepal has a huge dependency on India. So we need to use diplomatic channels and give them a very clear communication.
Ma'am, peace is the word that you conveyed. Is neighborhood still working, ma'am?
Neighborhood first policy. See, dealing with neighbors is never easy. not for any country. For India, the problems are multiple because of partition, colonial legacy. So, whether neighborhood first is working or not, first of all, we have to have a parameter, right? How are we going to define it? And I believe that it is our perspective. Are we seeing the glass half filled or half empty? Because these things keep on coming, they catch media attention, but lot of political, economic exchange happens between the countries behind the media glare. And also with Nepal, we have a unique relationship of familial ties. So in neighborhood, no government will ever have 100 out of 100. No government in India will ever have even 60 out of 100. So if it is 30 out of 100, I'll say it's achievement.